knew you were coming, so I was like, I have to throw on whatever sparkly things I have.
I'm obsessed. Is this from
I'm
your
obsessed.
wardrobe?
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
No, I just fell in love. This is glorious. Was it for like a
You.
concert?
Actually, this jacket I got for when Ryan LaSala and I were doing SmackDown. I needed a little razzle dazzle moment.
Yeah.
I wore it for 5 seconds.
But you know
So,
what? It's always worth it though.
yeah,
I've got that
yeah, it does
razzle
take the edge
dazzle
off.
on the bottom of this too.
Yes. Okay. Let's stand back up, please, madam, mademoiselle. Ooh.
Ignore my period bloat. Oh, we celebrate bloat on the podcast.
We do. We celebrate it so hard. Yes. And I love the shawl, the wrap you're wearing as
Yes, that's
well.
a fave. I wear that just with jeans and stuff as well.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yes.
Well, Happy
Good
New Year.
effort. Happy New Year! I'm really feeling the vibe. The glass is really centered over the edge for me. You need to wear them for at least the next few minutes.
Okay. Yes, everything is like pink and cutesy right now with these pink, whatever
But
these
you
are, heart
know, they
shapes.
say that looking through a pink lens is calming.
I feel very calm. I feel very
Yeah.
relaxed. Yes, I
It,
do.
it
Yes.
ages you about like down like I don't know, ages you down to like I wouldn't put you past 20 right now.
Sweet. I'm gonna just wear these everywhere from now on.
It's just like fun vibes. Hippie Montoya.
Hey. Yeah, we wore these when we saw Taylor Swift in concert, little heart glasses, the little number. But enough about me. Well, this is kind of about me too, but I have to tell you, your accrual thirst traps have been the highlight, dare I say, of the internet. Dare I say, of the world.
You know, when Jessica Para, our founding father, left me this accursed emu head, I don't think she knew what was going to happen. I don't even know why she brought it with her. You know, it's not like I saw that emu head and I was like, you need to bring me that. This is what I love about her. I love the way her mind works. And if you saw how much luggage she had, I just can't believe that this was on the top of the priority list. Bring Mel the plastic emu head. But since she did cart it all the way over from the from the shores of the US of A, I was like, I'm gonna make use of it. I'm gonna make use of it. And so
It's
inspired by her, actually, who did the original emu head thirst trap, which just slayed me. Like
Oh, yep,
yeah,
that's
she did it
right.
with
Yeah.
with my indie, with Gregory and the Grimbuckle and with the Castle of Horror. And it just slayed me. Like, she's hot as fuck and she's just got this fucking emu head on. And it just killed me when she put those photos up. It's just like, here's a thirst trap of me. I just had to bring, once I had the idea of a cruel thirst trap, it was all over.
It was perfect, glorious. And I truly feel like with that emu mask on, you really came to life. I feel like a new, I feel like it started with Santa Claus. It
Mm,
started with the Santa drag, and then it moved into a new thing, which is emu
emu drag.
erotica. I feel, yeah, in emu drag. I feel like it freed you to
Yes.
become this sex pot, if you will. I mean,
An icon, dare I say.
my eyes could not like look away. I mean, my God, the hips were not lying in any of those. Yeah, it honestly, like I've had family members reach out and be like, that Melanie is funny. Yes, she is. Like, yes, grandma, isn't she?
Did your grandma say
Yes.
stop? Really?
Oh yeah. Grandma saw it, and Grandma, she liked it. She liked it.
Thank you, Grandma. That's all the praise I needed. And also, looking at you in these glasses, I feel like I'm experiencing how you felt when I was dressed as Santa because I can't take you seriously. And I just want to laugh at everything you say, which is
Yeah.
normal, but like extra.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then the random like light will shine right on the glasses and just
Yeah.
reflect everything.
And
Yeah. No. When
okay.
you wore the Santa outfit and we were having like these profound deep discussions about womanhood and our bodies, I had to fight for my life to just listen because you were telling me these things with a full-on beard like floating into your mouth. It was just impossible.
You did great, actually. When I watched it back, I could not believe how you like were able to keep a straight face as often as you did.
Whew, yeah. No, that was tough. That was tough. But yeah. Mel, thank you for doing all of those thirst traps every single time. They're just so funny and beautiful too. Like the camera work
I've got
and
to give that props to Phil. He's like, all that time on Truckstagram, I guess, hasn't been wasted. Like, not that it is wasted. He's got more followers than any of us at this point. But I was
yeah.
like, I'm gonna use this boy's skills and see what we can do. At this point, he's just honorary Bookstagram community.
Yes,
So,
100%. Like who I'm sure in his wildest dreams he would have never thought one day I'm gonna film my beautiful wife wearing an emu
oh, girl,
mask.
I think he knew when he married me, he had like bitten
Woohoo!
off more than he chewed, but he wanted that. So he knew what he was signing up for. That extra Schubert flavor was on the surface, right? Even more at the start, like
Oh my God. I love it. Yes, sprinkle that Schubert flavor everywhere, you know?
But welcome to a new year.
Yes, here we are. We are here, 2025. This is Melanie Schubert's year. I feel it in my bones. This is such an exciting year. Like let's get into that actually. Like
Oh my gosh.
how in the F are you feeling right now? What are you doing right now? What is happening in life? Where are we about to go into? Like tell us everything.
That is a good question. I literally got butterflies when you like drew attention to it again because I keep forgetting that like it it's wild because like for so long I've been working this hard and like, with the hope of something. And I actually just fall back into that mindset of like just working, rah rah rah. And I have to remind myself like it's like this is the time. Like it's going out on sub. Like I really it's I think for how long I was on querying, maybe it's normal, but it's very much still I have to remind myself that these things are happening. So, yeah, like it hasn't been much of a holiday for me this season because I have been hustling to get this last revision done so we can go on submission. But that was like my choice. Like I feel like that was no pressure from Sandra to get it out now. That was like my choice to wanna. I can't wait anymore. You know what I mean? Like I'm
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have wanted a holiday. I wouldn't have just been wanting to just like sit around on the beach while I could be getting this in the trenches. So in the submission trenches. So yeah, like honestly, what I'm doing, I actually already did one kind of read through and went through all Sandra's notes. Now I'm just doing she comes back into office on the 6th. So I was like, I want to kind of actually read it one more time, even though because
Yeah.
you can just go through the notes and then but do a proper read through. And I'm so glad I did it that way. Well, initially I didn't. Initially I was trying to do it all at once as like one big revision. I'm so glad last week one day I was like, just go, just look at all her notes, stop stressing, see if there's anything that's like bigger.
Yeah.
And it was nothing, like nothing really. it immediately took weight off me. Like it really is a minor fine-tuning, deleting ellipses and, the word just, which I wrote like fucking 500 times. Apparently, it's an important word to me.
Yes, we love a jest. We love jest.
Yeah, so I'm actually just doing this last read through and trying to pick up any like typos or little tiny plot holes that I've missed. And it's been wild. Like I kind of had a little cry to myself the other day because I think we all have those moments, and I've still had plenty of imposter syndrome during this part where I was just like, is it any good? Like, is it worth the fuss of all of this? Is it
Mm.
like worth, not taking a holiday now and whatever. And but this read has been almost the ex or has been the exact opposite. Like I was kind of crying from the start. I was just like, it's good. It's good. I've been reading it and just having little cries because I was like, in the frenzy of revisions, you kind of forget most of what you write. Let's be real. Like, no one's sitting there going like, "Remember that line?" Like I honestly forget most of what I write until I'm in it again.
Yeah.
And reading it this time, I'm just like, fuck, like this is what I would pick off the shelf. And that feeling is like, regardless of what happens with it, going in with that feeling of like, it's at a level where this is what I would walk in and I would want this. This is what I'd be looking for in the bookshop. And that's made me really emotional that like I've written something that I would want to pick off the shelf. So yeah, going on to submission with that feeling is like really precious to me because regardless of what happens, I know where I've gotten it to for me. And that's yeah. And of course it helps, like I've had Jess Para read it as well, and she's such a fangirl of this book. Like her Jess Para hype is like nothing else. Like she's really
It's
she's
all you need.
she's really hyped me up big time. So that's been everything to me. So yeah. We're doing that. And then I've had to draft this horror piece on the side, which is glorious. The timing is not ideal. But we're nearly there. We're nearly there with all my deadlines coalescing. But yeah, it's kind of a beautiful place to be. It's kind of where I dreamed of being, like being busy with actual writing work. I'm hoping this is the year I get paid for it. Let's manifest.
Yes.
That's the manifestation. We're just gonna keep doing what we're doing. This is the year we're gonna start seeing paychecks for it. Although I do with Gobsmacked, but anyway.
Yes. We're manifesting.
Yeah,
Melanie is she's getting paid this year.
is. And I don't want to be so, like it's very taboo, I think, in our industry to even talk about it. But like I don't think we should feel that way. Like the amount of work I put into this is more than I've ever put into any full-time
Hmm.
job. Like I think it's right and good and necessary to talk about wanting it to be paid. And I think there's that taboo because it's such an uncertain industry. It's like
Yes.
hard to kind of like yeah, but I think of all those parts as student times. But then now as we move forward, I'm like, we're not in the student times anymore. So now we're in the internship and now we're doing the thing. Let's start to see what happens. That would be
Yeah.
nice.
I love that. No, honestly, like talking about the money part is so taboo, and it is a weird
Yeah.
thing because this whole business is really weird for one, because on one end, you're grateful to be able to do this, and it
Mm,
is magical, and it's a thing that you did just from love,
yeah.
and just wanting to tell stories. But then as you do shift
Yeah.
into a new era in your career, you know it does become, well, I am putting in hours upon hours upon hours into
Yeah.
this thing, and it's time, like, let's put some, let's show something good from it. So yeah, it's so weird,
It's
because
so weird. And
it's like
like
you don't want to complain, but then also it's like, but also I did all this work for you, so I can. It's weird.
literally. It's a very complicated area, but like with everything, I feel like the more we just talk about it, it becomes immediately less taboo, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and yeah, I can understand why it is because it's like But yeah, that's why I purposely call I will always think of like my pre-agented years as my student years with writing,
Yes.
but once you do, I feel like, yeah, hopefully from this point, some things start to shift a little, just a little.
We're
And yeah,
ready for it.
yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think I honestly believe like at a point with anything, if you put enough work, you can you can start to see some financial side of it as well. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like even what you can't be work eventually good things come when you keep putting things into the universe. But
Period. Period.
yes. But enough
That is
about
my no, that's my like my new slogan, my motto for
yeah.
this year is like I am not going to chase, I am attracting this year. Like I feel like for so long I was running so
Mm,
hard and doing every little thing and saying yes to every little thing because I was chasing the goal.
it.
And it can wear you out. You know what I mean? So this year we're doing things different. We're not chasing anymore. We're
Pre
acting.
that hit every chakra in my body. Yes. Fuck yes.
Yes.
I agree with that so much. I think a little bit of that is necessary to like find where you want to be. But I fully agree with you. Like, I think, yeah. And when you chase too hard, you can often like wind up with the wrong things, chasing after the wrong things.
Yes.
And
Oh,
yeah,
that's
really
true.
just that energy of attraction is so like it's so powerful and like life-changing if you can kind of like just sit with yourself and like work out what it is that's important to you and like what brings you joy. And I think like when we're younger, we're like kind of discouraged to like actually chase our desires and like it's not seen as like quite selfish or whatever, but it's really just like the bread people who tell you that are people who like kind of wanna control you or something. You know what I mean? Like, or
Yeah.
they themselves are like unsatisfied or in a kind of control thing. But anyway, enough
Yes.
about my things. We are putting all the good energy in for submission
Hell yes.
and all that. I am excited. I want to hear somebody had another book come out. I want to hear how that's been.
Yeah, it's so funny because like timing wise, it feels like, I've talked to you or we've been on the show since that happened, but it's true. Like we haven't chatted,
No.
I don't think about it. It's all been a blur. I'm not even
Yeah,
kidding you. Um,
I bet.
yeah, I don't I'm flabbergasted. Um, it's been a whirlwind. It's been the
Mm.
best, honestly. It feels like this time around, I don't know. It just feels like A Cruel Thirst is finding its readers faster and
Yeah.
people are very excited about it and people have been so lovely and the events that I had, it was so wonderful. So like every single thing has felt wonderful and exceptional and exciting. And so yeah, like at first I was like when it first came out, probably a couple days, a week, I don't know when, after I was like, oh, it would be great to like hit the bestseller list. Like
Yeah.
that would be awesome. And then I didn't.
Mm.
And then I thought, okay, like moving on,
Yeah.
and so you were talking about like chasing dreams and how sometimes people do like look down on you for it and stick their nose up and want to like like kind of like lessen your excitement
Oh yeah.
about pursuing your goals and your dreams. But the truth of it is, I think that's like what makes life magic is like going for the things that your heart is reaching for and it gives you something to be excited about.
Yes.
And so I just like when I didn't hit the bestseller list, I thought, okay, well maybe that could be my new like thing.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not like chasing like where I have to be a bestseller, but that might be like a fun thing where okay, that's my next goal someday is to hit that mark. And maybe I need to write different or change things or whatever. And so it was less of a, oh, I didn't hit it. was like, okay, well, what can I do to do that?
Mm,
But not in a way of like, I have to have it, but it just of like, you know what? This is gonna be my fun next thing to like put my mind on and
yeah.
build off of and just enjoy the whole thing
Mm,
while getting paid, everybody,
yeah.
while getting paid.
Bitch, this powerful mindset that you are bringing for the start of this year, I have fucking chills because that's it. Like, it's, and this is why it's so hard to talk about, right? Because it is riddled with nuance, right? Because if you
Yes.
become obsessed with these goals, they destroy you. They suck out all the joy. They, you can become this person that's just completely self-obsessed, whatever. That's where the negative stigma partially comes from.
Hmm.
But as you said, like desire is the spice of life. It is what makes us up. It is what moves us through life into good energy places, to good energy people. And yes, having those goals and going for it that way is such a power move. And it's just like, why not? Why not give yourself permission to do that? And a lot of people, and that's the other part of it, the shutdown. A lot of people don't give themselves permission. And that's the other side of like where the shutdown comes from. Because when you're shining like so bright, like you are, it's like stings people that they didn't give themselves permission to try. And it is really
Yeah.
scary. And if you get just completely consumed by those goals, then yeah, it can destroy you as well. But when
Period.
it's done
Oh,
in
yeah.
balance, it is
In balance.
the spice of life, you know?
There, yes, there was a quote and it really struck me.
Yeah.
And I know you love quotes, so let
Yeah.
me find
Share
it.
with us for the coming of the new year.
Yes, we're here for it. Okay, so it's the quote says, "Life shrinks and expands in proportion to one's courage."
Mm,
And I don't know why that hit me so much, but like I just think of all the times have done like panels or events or a podcast, like how many times my little heart beat so fast that I thought, oh no, I better like tell them I can't do it, or like instantly regretted it. Even like during the two book launches I had for A Cruel Thirst. So I
yeah.
did one locally and then I did one in the Bay Area, a couple hours south. And then, but both times was Sandra Proudman. The Sandra
Yeah.
Proudman was my in conversation, and Haley Dennings, who were both amazing. But
Mm,
I was telling Sandra, like, those two times were the most nervous
really.
like I've been because it was about me. Like it was for
Yeah.
me and my book. Whereas opposed to when I've done panels, it was a group of authors and it
Mm,
wasn't,
mm.
people weren't necessarily coming just to see me, but this one, what these are.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so the entire time until Sandra and I sat down, the entire time, like the whole day before that, I was thinking, I should cancel this. I'm not going to do like, this is going to be, like all of these things. However, I did it anyway because I
Yeah.
knew I could, because we've been doing this. And, it takes courage to
Yes.
do these scary, scary things and you don't feel good when you're
No.
doing them. It doesn't feel good, but that's it. Like you have to do it and your life will expand for it.
Mm.
Yeah, so there's just been so many like beautiful moments last year in 2024 that I got to experience because I did it hot and sweaty
Yeah.
anyway.
I I love you so much. I never get tired of you sharing these stories because literally, it's how my brain works before doing any of these things. Like, even sometimes the podcast, I'll be like, oh, like if you're having like a high anxiety day and it's like, oh my gosh, like, why did I think I should do a podcast? Like, I don't even know. Like, do I even remember how to edit it? Like, what if I like, whatever? Like, it all goes through your head. And like you said, there's those moments where your little heart is beating so fast, you're like, shit. Shit. Who did I think I was to try any of this? And you feel very small and very reduced and very like vulnerable, very fragile, you know? But I'm so convinced like every day, every time I meet a new person on the pod, whatever, I'm more convinced than ever that our image of brave people being like these powerful people, but a lot of the time, maybe all the time, the bravest people, their hearts are racing in their chest and they do it anyway. And I'm starting to feel convinced that courage and bravery are words that for doing it when you're scared, because you don't need courage or bravery if it's not scary to you. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
We are bricking it
Yes.
all the fucking time.
Yes. Yes. Like just in life, it's like for some reason, somehow somebody told us we're supposed to know how to do things, but we don't,
Right?
none of us know what we're doing. We're just like fumbling through life,
Yeah.
and obviously learning from those who came before us. But even still, it's like, oh, they went through that? No, like my life is so different. But like we're all just fumbling through this messy existence
100%.
and doing it scared.
Doing it scared, like even with the emu thirst traps, like most of them there was no one around, but a couple times, like the one I did on New Year's Eve, I literally went to the Shrine of Remembrance to do it, which is like was one of the spots where everyone was. Now, I I did carefully map out and earmark a spot 50 meters in front of us. There was thousands of people viewing the city, thousands crawling all over the shrine. So we were behind the shrine, and I found a spot in the trees that was still showing off the fireworks, which they Melbourne, you held out on us. They were going on that it was going to be the best fireworks ever. It was quite disappointing. Anyway, that's lamentation for
Uh-oh.
another day, but there was still fireworks. But yeah, there was still people walking past as I danced in front of one of our most iconic buildings in this full length, glittering. You're drawing attention to yourself, which as a highly anxious person, you know, it's weird because and this is the thing, again, it's the both exist in me, right? uh because I live with anxiety disorder, I often face my biggest fear just walking out the fucking door some days.
Mm.
So
Hmm.
it kind of makes you powerful as well if you lean into the, well, nothing scares me now because everything does, and I just have to face it. So it kind of gives you this, like in other situations, gives you this weird courage to do stuff like that. But there was definitely moments where I was just like, why did I think I was like plucky and cool enough to fucking dance in a floor length sequined gown with an emu head on New Year's Eve when there's people crawling all over the place. You know, I had a moment, and then you just keep doing it, and then at a point I think that's the part about doing what you love and what you think is cool. Because at a point, yeah, I was sweaty and nervous at some points, but I was like, I think this is fucking cool, and my friends think it's cool, and that's it. As long as I'm having fun and my friends think it's cool, what does it matter if Joe Blow on the street thinks like I actually couldn't care. You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh my God, yes. Like that is so boring of us to worry about what anybody thinks
Yeah,
that doesn't matter, in your
that's
day-to-day life. That is so boring of us. We're not doing that.
No, we're not. That and in 20, actually, Val Tieta, she put like such a lovely post up the other day about like her kind of wishes and manifestations for this year, and it was so on point. And like part of it is just like not like giving a fuck about those people, like, and just being in your own skin and like your own boundaries and whatever. Yeah, I bloody loved what she put up. Other day.
Yeah. Oh, well, she's so great. She's magical
She
in
is
and of it's. Yeah,
magical.
she is. She's queen. Yeah. I mean, we're doing the things, and this
Yeah.
year I just feel so, so excited just to watch you on this journey.
Watch me sweat.
Yes, I am so excited for that. It's time. It's you've paid your dues. Now it's time to sweat again. But honestly, like going on submission for
Oh
to
yeah, give
editors,
me tips. Give me tips.
it is submission
Yeah.
is so wild because, and I think this is it, because we talk so much about querying. There's so much
Mm,
information about querying, that you kind of get it. Like, okay, this is what I have to do. These are the things I
yeah.
need to. there's forums about it, there's blogs about it, but when it comes to submission,
Mm.
it kind or once you get the agent, it kind of goes like dead of what happens next. And
Yeah.
so it is a very interesting experience because like it's it's like queering, but heightened so much
Oh,
scary
yay.
because now it's like okay, we've done the stuff that we needed to do. We
Mm.
got this book ready. An agent has read this book. She loves it so much that she thinks she
Yeah.
can sell it, and now it's time to try and do the thing. I just remember like sweating the
Yeah.
entire months and months that I was on submission for Sinner's Isle. And quite literally, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't write. I couldn't do a single thing, and I was festering. And the only way I was able to get through it and like switch the brain set was through my bad bitch affirmations. I will never knock on my bad bitch affirmations on YouTube. Just type
Okay,
in the
I'm gonna
search
do
engine.
them. I need them.
Yes. Do it. Like I just and I still do them to the same I listen to the same one. I do
Can you
it's
give us
the
some? Can you give us some of your bad bitch affirmation?
yeah, I just type in like bad bitch affirmations, but one of them let me see if I can look it up. It's my favorite because it's the hype version.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
I fucking need it.
yes, it okay, bad bitch affirmations in the search bar. My favorite one, I can't find it. Well, just type in bad bitch affirmations. Where's my hype version? Oh, it's right here. It's just literally called Bad Bitch Affirmations, the hype version by
Yeah.
Jackie Ruane. Like she has you going like, woo! And just to like raise your energy
Wow.
and so like I literally while I was on submission towards the end, I would start listening to those while I was walking, and
Yeah.
it kind of grounds you because it's just like, oh, that's right. I am a bad bitch.
Mm.
Like I did do these things. I am here, and whatever happens, like I'm still gonna be that bitch. And so then made it through submission, and then I think I forgot. I forgot to be a bad bitch again. But
Mm.
now I'm back. I've returned to my bad bitchdom. Um,
Yes.
so yeah,
I
so
love
I
it.
really and truly, I think the only way to survive submission, which hopefully for you, it's just like a days. Hopefully for you, I'm manifesting. Sandra puts it out into the world and like editors just like pounce on it like sharks.
Yeah.
Um, but even during those few days, listen to your bad bitch affirmations and
Mm.
remember that you are that bitch. Because I mean, you are here. You have been putting in the work. And like we always talk with authors that we have on the pod of
Mm.
like we love hearing their stories. And it's not just these overnight successes most of the time. They've been grinding.
That's it.
And you have. And so 2025 is the year.
Shake those tassels, baby. Thank you for that. It's really beautiful and it's really powerful. Like I think that that ability is to like be able to shift your own energy. It's when you give in to that, you kind of become an unstoppable force. Like I used to be so opposite to that because you can kind of like cling to the opposite as well. And like it's hard when you're battling like all number of things, but like yeah, you can find things like I think when I dance with Goose in the living room, I can be
Yeah.
having like the most depressive morning and then Goose will bring me a toy and I'll just be like, okay, fine. I know in the back of your mind, you're like, even though a million times it's swung my mood back into the positive, I'll be like, oh, I could never get out of this funk. You know, when you like
Yes.
really the
Yes.
world feels so dark, and then I'll put on that like that Shakira song that I did the thirst trap to is one of the ones I dance with Goose. It's like kind of impossible to feel sad when, and you know how like ridiculous it looks as well. You know, like if somebody had
Yeah.
a camera on me or you when you're like going through the forest and you're like, I'm a bad bitch. And I think we both know the
Yes.
comedy of it as well. So we like
Yes.
immediately you're cackling at yourself. Like
Yeah.
here I am grinding on my frickin' door frame to Shakira alone in the house. I dance as dirty as I can when I'm alone. You know what I mean? Like I just have so much fun
Yeah.
with it.
Be
Yeah,
free.
be free. And we're just
Yeah.
gonna have all the bad bitch affirmations this year. And
Hell yes.
yeah, and if you're one of our listeners and you're also like in the trenches or going on sub or whatever, we want to extend all the good energy to you as well because you're a bad bitch as well. And yeah, just keep going. If that's what I feel like sometimes as well, it's not the message everyone needs to hear, but if you need to hear it, like from somebody who felt like maybe it was never going to happen, but just kept going, and then all of a sudden it did, that next step. And I'm going to keep going until I sell a freaking book. Like I said, for me, I'm stubborn to the point that, like, even if it wasn't what I wanted to do anymore, I want to taste it first at this point. You know what I
Yes. Yes.
mean?
Yes.
Let's
I know
see.
exactly what you mean. Yes.
Because we all have those moments of despair where we're just like, fuck it, I don't even want to be a writer anymore. It's too much. But at this point, I've put in so much work. I'm like, let's see how it feels when there's a couple books on the shelves and we'll talk then. So,
Yes.
yeah, we're cheering for all of you and thank you for sticking with us. This is going to be our fourth year of the podcast.
So weird. Woo!
They are
Somehow.
seasoned.
Yes, we are seasoned. We are like fine wine here. Okay, quickly, do you have any like major goals for 2025? Like, is there anything that you're like, you know what, this is it?
Honestly, my biggest priority is keeping balance and not getting caught up in my work. Like right now, I'm working hard, but I'm fully planning that when I'm done with these big deadlines, that Phil and I are going to take at least a week off where we just like laze by the beach or something. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yes.
I am really conscious, even when I am busy, to do it around my day. But yeah, I just want to make sure that it has to be sustainable. It has to still feel fun. Otherwise, like I said last time, there's no point picking a creative career if you're just going to crucify yourself every day over it. It's got to be fun. What about
Mm.
you?
I am nodding my head so hard because same. Like last year, I feel like I really put myself in some dark places. Just I had so much fun, but also I didn't at the same time.
Yeah.
And this year, same. I want to obviously continue to work hard,
Yeah,
possibly write an adult book, do those things. But I really and truly just want to remember to enjoy this damn ride
yeah,
because again, we're getting paid, but it's not like it's life-changing whatever. Like
that's it.
you could just go work somewhere. So I want to have freaking fun while I'm doing this.
That's
Yeah.
it. And look at this. Like, what even with these rare bodies of energy, so improbable, so impossible. Like, I like to keep that in my head as well, even though that's overwhelming. I'm just like, how the fuck do we even exist? I like to remember that and then suck the marrow out of every day as much as this anxious form of mine will allow. And this is part of it, you know? So here's to sucking the marrow out of every day. You know?
Here, here.
Did you just whack yourself with your tassels? It was very dramatic, very drag.
Here's
I
the
loved it.
sucking marrow out of life.
Yeah.